Oh, hey, welcome to Parkway Brewing. I'm Mike. I'm going to be the guy that starts you out on your journey through Parkway today. So where you're standing right now is on our brew deck. This is where all the beers are started and where they're made. We do a lot of different beers, but we've given you 6 to work through, and we're going to talk about them at the end of each one of these segments. So the process starts here. We take all of our grains and we mash them in this vessel over here. And once they're mashed in, it looks like porridge. And then enzymes break it all down into sugars, and those sugars and the leftover husks come over on this side. And this side, there's some screens in there. We rinse all those sugars out. So what we end up with is a whole bunch of natural sugars, maltose, all kinds of different stuff that makes really great beer. Lots of flavor, everything else. We leave all the husks here. We put all the sugar water into our boil pot. Boil pot, we add our hops. The hops are what give us bitterness, flavor, and aroma. Bitterness is what you feel on the back of your tongue when you drink a beer. Flavor is what you taste in your mouth, and the aroma is what you smell. So if you think about that, when you drink a beer, you bring it up to your nose, you smell it, then you taste it, and then you feel it. We put those in the same way here. So the first hops we put in are bitterness hops, the second hops are flavor hops, and the last hops are aroma hops. Some of the aroma hops go into the boil, some of them go into the fermenters, but we'll talk about that in the next segment. So we gave you 6 beers. What we're going to do now is we're going to go taste the first one. So come on down. So you got a 6-pack. The 6-pack has 6 beers in it, and it's the 6-pack. Comes with most of our year-round beers in it. The first we're going to talk about is our Majestic Mullet. Mullet is crispy Kolsch. It's a beer that was started in Cologne, Germany. It's one of the unusual beers of Germany. Most of them are lagers. These are ales, but they're cold fermented instead. So it's a crisp, clean, golden beer that is easy drinking. It's kind of my go-to, actually. But I think we shouldn't talk about it too much. We should enjoy it and see what it's like. So why don't you pop yours open? You have one of these in your back pocket, right? So you should always drink a beer out of a glass. And pour your beer. Don't pour it really still. You want actually to get as much head on that beer as you can without it overflowing. So a good inch of head is perfect. When we talked about hops, the first thing you get is you smell. So Kolsch actually doesn't have a lot of hop character to it in the smell. It's more malt oriented. The color is beautiful and clear. It's easy drinking. So go ahead, have it, enjoy. Cheers. That's fantastic stuff. Crisp, easy drinking, a really light sweetness from the grain, and again, it's my go-to. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do.
Hi. See, Mike sent you my way after he got done making the wort. Here's where the yeast go to work, in the fermenter farm. Here, after Mike gets done brewing, the yeast goes into our fermenters, which is where it goes in and starts eating all the sugar water we made. It turns into alcohol and CO2, which gives us our beer. And while it's working, if you look down this way, you can see in that white bucket the bubbles. It's moving around. That's it, right in the beer. That's it, and off gases. And once it's done fermenting, we start cooling them down, and we do a couple different things. One thing we do is we dry hop for our IPAs, where we put in hops, we recircle them to give you that big hop aroma, or we just cool them beers down, try to get all the yeast to fall out, which is why these tanks are cone-shaped. So all that can settle into the bottom and leave us the most beer behind to get out to you guys. And so once it's done with these and it's cooled down, we send it over to Troy to get it clarified and conditioning in our tanks. One of our newer beers is our AAA American Amber Ale. It's a nice, malty, caramely amber that is nice and easy to drink. And it's, just good, rich beer, nice and clear, as you can see. And one of the fun parts is we can it, which means you can take it anywhere from the Virginia State Parks to festivals, camping, and all that. Prost, let's send you on to Troy.
Hey, I'm Troy. Peter sent me your way. Talk about clarifying beer. Peter just, when he lets me know everything's been fermented, he lets me know, and I will take over from there and clarify it through this piece of equipment here, which is our centrifuge. Most breweries just, I guess, gravities clean up their beers and also use a carb stone to carb it. With this piece of equipment here, we can actually carb it and clarify it and put it into our bright tanks. So it can be bottled or canned or kegged, either one. So once it goes through this piece of equipment, we can run about 40 barrels an hour through this piece of equipment, and it runs over to one of our 3 bright tanks. We have a 30 barrel bright tank, we have a 60 barrel bright tank, and we also have a 120 barrel bright tank. From there, we pump it in here, set the beer to 28 degrees, which also conditions it a little more. And then after that, we'll take it and pump it over to Andrew, who will be talking about our bottling line, and canning and kegging. So I have to talk about one of the beers we have here, and which is currently one of our seasonals, Save the Galaxy. It is a Imperial, well, an Indian Pale Ale. I call it more of an Imperial Indian Pale Ale because it is a higher octane. We're talking about 8.3%, or normally our Get Bent, which is our flagship IPA, 7.2%. That extra alcohol comes from the dextrose we add to it. We have a really good blend of hops in this one. It's Citra, Mosaic, and not Galaxy. Citra, Mosaic, and CTZ. It is dry hopped with Mosaic and Citra, which gives it a good tropical taste. So, nice and clear. Good IPA. So on to Andrew.
Hi, so Troy just sent you over to me. My name is Andrew Ennis. I'm the packaging manager here at Parkway Brewing, and I'm also a certified brewmaster from the BLB in Berlin. Here at Parkway, we do a lot of packaging. We do kegs for our draft. We do 12-ounce bottles right here at the filler. And we have a local mobile canning unit that comes in and does our 16-ounce cans for us. The draft is all done on our Bulldog kegging machine and a lot of manual labor, but right now we are in the filling area for our bottles. Everything starts down here, comes off our depalletizer and comes down this conveyor belt to our labeling machine. After it gets labeled and properly dated, it'll go right into our 18-head filler. When this thing's running, we can get it up to 55 bottles per minute. After it goes through our filler, it comes around again and goes to our drop packer. Our drop packer will then drop 24 bottles into waiting 6-pack carriers, and then it's ready to be wrapped, packed, and delivered. There are a lot of machines in here, and I can't touch on all of them, but none of this works unless I have a dedicated production team. I've got some of the best working packers in the industry, and that makes me very lucky because without them, none of this runs. So now I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite styles, Baltic Porter. It's got a very interesting history and can trace its roots all the way back to the 1700s. This is where English brewers were sending their porters over to the Baltic states. Now, in order to make the long trip without modern refrigeration or packaging technology, they had to make the beer extra strong just so it would survive the journey. Now, we don't make our beer extra strong to survive the journey because we have modern refrigeration and better filling practices and brewing practices, but we still make it strong anyway just because we like it that way. Our beer comes in at a modest 7.1% alcohol, and it's very, very drinkable. Now I'm going to open up here and you can see that it's got a very nice, dark, inky color to it. And it's got that nice, rocky, cream-colored head. Now this is a malt-forward beer, so don't be scared to let it warm up to room temperature because it's really going to activate a lot of those nice, biscuity, raisin, and toasty aromas that you're going to smell in the beer. You can enjoy it in the bottle, but I definitely recommend using a wide mouth glass just so that you can smell the beer while you're drinking it. Another way to help warm it up to activate some of those aromas is just to cup the glass in your hand like this. Now once you take a drink, you're going to notice that those aromas change a little bit. You're going to get some nice caramel, toffee notes, and it's going to have a nice finish, nice clean, crisp finish to it, kind of like bitter coffee. And that's all thanks to the nice chocolate Munich malts that we use and nugget hops. Now I'm going to enjoy this beer and I'm going to send you over to Kim, so cheers.
Oh, hey there. Welcome to Parkway Tasting Room. I'm Kim. The Parkway Tasting Room was established in January 2013. It's become a place full of live music, especially Thursday through Sunday. Every night we've got all kinds of local bands, some traveling bands. It's a place where it's almost like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. There's always a friendly face and new friends to make. It's a great community hangout, family friendly. We love having the pups outside, playing in the creek. It's definitely become a place that everybody seeks out and enjoys sitting out by the creek across the bridge and enjoying some live music and the cold brew from Parkway. So we're going to move on. You just learned about the Raven's Roost Porter. Next we're going to your second to last beer, and that is the Get Bent IPA. Definitely one of our flagships, one of our most popular beers by far. Let's see how this bad boy cracks open. You got that nice, rich color, West Coast style IPA, 7.2% ABV. So be careful with this one. It will, just a couple of them will get you. It's got, let's see, a little citrus and pininess on the nose. Nice bready maltiness, backbone. Assertive hoppiness, but with that balance of the malts, it definitely, that bready balance brings it all together. Easy to drink, which may be a little dangerous, but by far my favorite of our beers, and definitely one of our tops among customers. We hope you enjoy it.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on your virtual tour of Parkway Brewing Company and our tastings with you. We hope you enjoyed it. What we want to do is leave you with our last beer. It's Parkway's Grapefruit Get Bent. Grapefruit Get Bent is our Get Bent with natural flavors added to it to give it that great citrusy wonderfulness. So from all of us at Parkway to all of you, cheers.
Cheers. Prost.